Welcome to another episode. We are going to be diving into maximizing your audience reach with trailer swaps and ego intros. So welcome to the Healthy Profits podcast, where we empower health and wellness practitioners to amplify their impact and monetize their passion. I'm one of your hosts, Ray Ireland, and in today's episode, we're diving into some powerful strategies to grow your podcast audience, which is what we all want, right? If you have a podcast, you want it to reach more people, and you also want it to reach the right people. So get ready to take some notes because we've got some game-changing insights coming your way. So let's dive in. So a few different ways that you can use trailer swaps and ego intros. One of them being a quote mashup. This is a really fun way to get inspiration from fellow podcasters in your niche and bring them all into one house or one episode, so to speak. So for instance, let's say for my podcast, Miracle Moment, this was all about mamapreneurs. So for that show, what I did was I brought in 4 different quotes from 4 other women who were also mamapreneurs, and I quoted their shows, their podcasts, and put them in one episode. And then from those snippets, I tied it together in making comments, sharing different valuable insights, and really serving as a reminder of the greater community in which mamapreneurs have, the one that we're all a part of, my listeners, myself, and these other people that I brought in. And so from that place, I was able to then go to those people that I highlighted their quotes from and really give them, what we like to call an ego intro inside of my podcast. And then I went to them and I said, I put you into my podcast. I highlighted you. I highlighted your platform. And if you would like, feel free to share this with your audience. And it really comes from this energy and this connection around sharing is caring. Let's share our communities with one another. And so it starts by you putting your best foot forward and highlighting someone else and really sharing them with your audience. Now, a great way to do ego intros is to really think about who are you highlighting. And if you can actually be highlighting people like Facebook group admins or admins on Reddit threads, things like that, the people that are usually more behind the scenes, that have their communities, their own audiences, but they're really the backbone of the community. They're not maybe the one that's being highlighted in their own community. This is a way where you really get to show appreciation for all that they've done and open those doors for collaboration. So that's really fun because as you approach them, you really approach them from a give first mentality, asking for their favorite insights or what did they want to share? What is the message that they want to get out there? And then you can leverage your own network to share what they're up to, but then vice versa. It just opens up the doors for collaboration beyond that around leveraging their networks as well to amplify your reach. So as long as you're choosing people that are really in alignment with the audience that you want to be growing, then this can be a really fun way to leverage that exponential growth that you can have. Another way that you can do this is by doing guest appearance teasers. So using things like trailer swaps to tease these upcoming guest appearances on your podcast. So maybe you record the episode, you bring these 4 different quotes in, you then reach out to those people, and then you can even say, hey, if you want, I would love to highlight you on my Instagram or on whatever platform you're using to really market the show. In the email series, can we do a special 3 to 5 minute clip where I'm featuring you? And most of the time, they're going to be really excited because you're doing the work to put them in front of your audience first and foremost. And that will entice the listeners to tune in for that full conversation as you release the podcast down the line. So that's a really fun way to use ego swaps. And then you have trailer swaps. And when you're doing trailer swaps, you're using like-minded podcasters. So this might be the big differences with ego introductions. You're really using people that might have a bigger audience. You might not be as connected with them, but you want to get more connected with them and their communities. With trailer swaps, there's this like-minded camaraderie, this friendliness already between you and the other person. And so you both already know that you want to pour into each other in the growth of your communities. So what this looks like is doing a trailer swap with another podcast that is possibly even already in your network. And basically, you're partnering with this like-minded individual to, again, tap into each other's audiences and introduce your show to the other person. So what that would look like is maybe there's a trailer. I'll, again, use my show, Miracle Moment, as an example, but maybe there's another mama show that features entrepreneurial women. And basically, I create a trailer for her show, and then she puts that in it. And I'm saying, hey, hello, everyone that's in the Beehive Mama Collective. I have a freebie that I want to give you. I'm Ray from the Miracle Moment, and I know how important it is to find these miracles when you're going through hard times. So I want to give you this freebie. Check it out. Enjoy the rest of this episode. Enjoy your Beehive community, and I'll see you soon. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, it has a call to action, and you're really in service of that community. And then vice versa, that person then creates the trailer for you. And so there's this beautiful partnership on both of you getting into a whole new group of listeners. And you can identify potential partners by making sure that you have similar interests, similar audiences, but also maybe there's a uniqueness where there's a piece that is different with both of you. So that way you're not just having the same community, but maybe the Beehive Mama Collective is all about health within the community, and Miracle Moment is more about like self-empowerment, right? So there can be different angles. And when you have that between the partners, you can really give the community what they're also needing or possibly missing by just being in your community. Doing these successful swaps can really benefit everyone in the long haul. It benefits you, your community, and your show, also the person that you're swapping with, but also their community as well. When you're thinking about swaps, you can also do theme-based swaps. So you can create a themed trailer swap around maybe different events that have occurred, around a specific topic or a theme that is relevant to your audience. For instance, with the momapreneur space, maybe it's, hey, for all the new moms out there that are in their first 6 months of having a newborn, or hey, for all the moms that are just becoming moms, you're maybe in your first or second trimester. Here are these products and things that you can do and use. So then I do a trailer swap with someone who has a show that also has products. So that's where you can niche down in the way that you're also doing these swaps and guiding it for a specific time for your listeners and your audience. So collaborating with other podcasts that are in that space with you. For anyone that's in the health and wellness space, maybe there's one focus on mindfulness, one focus on nutrition, one focus on fitness. You can go in these thematical ways. You could also go depending on where you're at in the season of the year, right? If you're maybe in the season of the holidays, you can be really diving into nutrition because we know we're going to be hit with all this sugar and foods, party foods. Maybe if you're going into spring, the sun's just starting to come out, maybe you're focusing back on fitness outdoors. So that's some really fun ways that you can come up with some themes to do your swaps that are relevant to what everyone is going through and experiencing. Now, another way that you can do some theme swaps are also like localized swaps. So for instance, targeting a specific geographic region or a specific local community. That's a fun way to also niche down on the audience that you're talking to and really create a stronger presence with them in that specific target market. So if you're doing that, a way that you can tie this into monetization is also maybe you have an event that you show up at, you go to, you speak on, and then you say, hey, I'm doing this special podcast. Another fun thing that we'll probably talk about in another episode are live podcasts where you're actually recording something live. That's another fun way that you can create a partnership or even a swap, so to speak, because you can have someone else there that has a different podcast and be swapping in a live setting. And again, that of course is targeting a specific, more local community because you're bringing people that are coming in and are able to like actually attend that event live. So when you're doing this, I definitely encourage you to do exclusive offers and discounts, partner up with people that offer complementary products or services to your event or to your audience. And so for instance, you don't want to have someone come on that has the exact same product, right? If I'm talking about mindfulness and mamas, having another mindfulness and mamas course doesn't quite make sense and pulls the energy away from me actually being the expert on my own show. So you want to see, where do the products or services come into complementary harmonies, so to speak? And in exchange, you can be promoting each other's trailers, offers, and giving these exclusive discounts and special offers to even listeners that maybe engage with both podcasts. You can play around with that, driving traffic to potentially both parties, which is a really fun way to do this. So these are just some innovative ideas on how to do trailer swap strategy. And so that way you can enhance your engagement, expand your reach, and ultimately drive growth and monetization to your podcast. So that wraps up today's episode for the Healthy Profits podcast. I hope you found these strategies for growing your audience insightful and actionable. And remember, building a thriving community around your podcast does take time and effort and the right strategies and the right mindset. So all these things can make a significant impact. So if you enjoyed this episode and you're curious, where does my podcast sit? We want to invite you to sign up, register for a free podcast audit that we're giving during this season of the Healthy Profits Show. So check that out, get booked in, and we'll go ahead and review all the different ways that you are leaving money on the table with your podcast. And so we'll dive deeper into how we see you could take some strategic leaps forward using trailer swaps and ego intros. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Now that was a great episode. Thanks for joining us and tuning in to the Healthy Profits podcast.
Sammy and I are here to help you turn your health podcast into a treasure trove of opportunity for your listeners and your business. So join us twice a week as we unleash our favorite tips and strategies that have helped our clients at Evolve Podcasting turn their show into a thriving part of their business.
And make sure you subscribe and listen in as each episode builds upon each other. And I know that you're a generous leader, so make sure you share this podcast with your fellow wellness entrepreneurs so we can all grow together.
Until next time, stay healthy and keep thriving.
Bye.
Bye.